In the blink of an eye, a cityscape can turn into a battlefield. Welcome to the Gaza conflict, a geopolitical quagmire that continues to shape our world and the lives of those caught up in its turmoil. In the heart of the Middle East, the Gaza Strip, a small coastal territory, has been the epicenter of a prolonged and contentious conflict between Israel and Palestine. This narrative is far from a simple tale of two opposing forces. It is a complex weave of political, religious, and socio-economic factors that have compounded over the years into a Gordian knot of issues. Protests have erupted across universities in the United States, shining a spotlight on how the conflict in Gaza is threatening President Biden's re-election. Some critics have gone as far as dubbing him Genocide Joe for his firm support for Israel during the Gaza war. This has sparked discontent among Arab Muslim populations and left-leaning Democrats. The conflict has resulted in a high number of casualties, igniting widespread protests on college campuses with over 2,000 demonstrators arrested. Biden's administration has faced criticism for its unwavering support for Israel, despite civilian casualties and humanitarian concerns in Gaza. The impact of Biden's handling of the Gaza conflict on his re-election prospects has been a subject of debate, with movements emerging within the Democratic Party calling for a re-evaluation of support for the president. The potential loss of support from key demographics, such as young voters, could pose a challenge to Biden's electoral success in 2024. In an attempt to mitigate the conflict, President Biden proposed a UN Security Council resolution for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, linked to talks over a Hamas-Israel hostage deal. However, the resolution was vetoed by Russia and China, pushing for a clearer demand for a ceasefire. The global response to the conflict has been as varied as it is passionate. From international condemnation of the violence to calls for independent investigations into Israeli airstrikes, the world watches, waits, and debates. In the midst of this, the Associated Press top editor, Sally Busby, called for an independent investigation into the Israeli airstrike that destroyed a Gaza City building housing the AP and Al Jazeera. The Israeli military claimed the building was used by Hamas, but the AP denies having any prior knowledge of this. As we navigate this intricate web of events, it's crucial to remember that at the heart of this conflict are people. People whose lives are irreversibly impacted by the decisions of those in power. In conclusion, the Gaza conflict continues to be a pressing issue of our time. The ramifications of this long-standing dispute are not confined to the borders of Israel and Palestine, but reverberate throughout the world. The conflict remains a litmus test for global diplomacy, humanitarian efforts, and the quest for a just and peaceful resolution. The world keeps its eyes on Gaza, hoping for a resolution that brings lasting peace to the region.